Good morning.
Good morning. I'm Carl Mingers. This is Aaron Burns. We are WREME Live. All right. It is January 17th, 2025.
And we have sound. Woohoo. We're good. I didn't do any testing this morning.
I'm still having a hard time writing 2025 on checks and stuff, but I'm getting it figured out.
Okay.
We're closing on a house today.
Yay.
Yeah. I wanted to show you the CCRs. I want you to read number 3.
Number 3.
Read it out loud.
No person of any race other than Caucasian shall own or occupy any building or any lot except this covenant shall not prevent occupancy by domestic servants of a different race.
How often have you seen something like
owner
that?
or tenant. Whoa. Not a lot, but if you read way back, yeah.
Yeah, these were built back in...
I've seen some crazy ones, though, because we'll laugh at the title company. You know how it is.
Well,
on some of them we see.
So,
like, you'll see the ones...
My deal is, that's obviously can't be nowadays. So why don't they have to go back and do these CCRs, the covenants and restrictions for a neighborhood,
right?
To be lawful,
Because they explain that they never take out the stuff, like the women can't own it,
right? I don't know. I just
people of color other than Caucasian women.
If this was done in 1950.
Whatever.
75 years ago. That's not that long ago.
That stuff never comes out. They just update it and add to it, but all that old stuff stays in it.
Right. I just, it doesn't make sense to me that, because then they say, well, number 3 isn't relevant anymore. Okay. Well, okay. How do we know number 4 isn't relevant anymore? No trailers.
Right.
How do we know number 6? No noxious or offensive activity,
Right.
I mean, this isn't the best part of town. There's going to be obnoxious and,
Right.
So this basically carries no weight.
You think
in the grand scheme of things.
You think this, I get why it's not updated and abstracting and stuff like that, but you think this part of it?
You would think they'd go back to the back and say, okay, number 3 is no longer relevant. Number 5, no longer relevant. Number 6, whatever.
Whatever isn't valid, they would make note of it. 3 has been struck through and no valid relevant. And you have to make note of that and sign a piece of paper somewhere.
I was talking to our mastermind group back in Virginia, and he says, they see this on almost every deal they have because most of their houses that they deal with were built in the 1800s.
Right.
That makes Oklahoma a relatively young place.
So the house I sold that had been in the family for 100 plus years, that house that was 100 plus years old.
Right.
You already seen the stuff on that one. That was fun.
Oh, it's interesting, what all's going on out there. Interest rates going back up. The Fed's going to not make it easy on Trump or anybody else. They brought them down just a bit for the election, and then they immediately started going back up. The politicalization, whatever it is.
The politics of it all.
Of the whole crap. It's no wonder all Americans are exhausted.
Right.
I mean, it's just dealing with the everyday crap that's going on. I talked to a gal at the T-Mobile store yesterday because they're coming out with Starlink for T-Mobile.
Oh, nice.
So I was over there. But these poor little gals, and I love T-Mobile, but I hate going to the T-Mobile store. I mean, I feel like I should have nose rings and nose piercings and tattoos and all this stuff just to walk in there.
That's to a lot of places.
But, and this gal had never heard of Starlink before. I'm like, Elon Musk, Tesla. Who's that?
Oh.
I'm like,
What?
you don't know who Elon Musk is? No, I don't watch news. You ever heard of Tesla? No, I don't watch news. Never heard of Starlink. Not until this advertisement came out, but I don't know what it is. I'm like,
How
I
do
thought
you
my
not
oldest brother,
know?
lived under a rock.
Right.
But, oh my gosh, and this gal's probably 22. But is this the coming generation? Is that what we're dealing with?
It's amazing how many people don't know.
If you don't at least pay attention to some news, I'm not saying be a news junkie. At one time I was a Fox News junkie, but I haven't watched Fox News in years.
Well, when you mentioned something and I hadn't heard it yet on my own, I'm
right?
like,
yeah,
what did I miss?
Well, when it comes to moving through life, how do you know if there's a down payment assistance program or something?
Right.
You either gotta contact a realtor, that knows something about this, or learn it through talking to people.
Well, I hate this generation too, and these people that just ghost you.
Right? Well, they don't talk to people.
Right.
I
get upset about something, or I'm mad about something that happened.
Yeah, what's going on, Aaron?
Instead of communicating with you in a professional manner, because we have a professional relationship,
right?
I'm just going to ghost you.
Right. No.
Instead of talking to you, because we might be able to work this out, and this
right.
might not have been your fault,
right.
or the other agent's fault we're working with.
Miscommunication is nine times out of 10 the problem.
We're just going to ghost you.
And they wonder why they're having relationship problems. They can't find a boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever. Well, first of all, you gotta go talk to people. Yeah,
or we can't buy a car. Or we can't do this, or we can't do that.
They don't understand the credit system. They don't understand debt.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, I'll be honest with you. When I got married, I really had no clue about. I was 19 when I got married. I had no idea about interest rates. When we bought our first trailer house, we had a week to find a place to live. We bought a trailer house, paid 28% interest in 1981. Okay.
Yeah.
And after I make the payments for a couple of months, I'm looking, okay, yeah, we're paying this off because we got our payment's $154 a month.
Right.
But our principal only went down like $2. I'm like, how does this work? And I went to my father-in-law, who worked at his savings and loan from way back when. They don't have those anymore. And he started explaining it to me, and boy, that's a ripoff. He goes, well, yeah, it is. I went to work and got that deal paid off, but it was just, you got to learn things.
And I wish they taught more of that in high school.
In school. In high school.
I had a home ec class, but they didn't teach us about interest rates, and they didn't teach it. I learned how to do a checkbook. I would have thought, and stuff like that.
It wasn't called home ec. I wasn't in home ec, but social studies.
I don't remember that stuff in social studies.
Yeah, well, we learned a few things, but what was the one? I can't remember where you learn to put where your fork goes on the left and your knife and fork.
Home ec.
Home ec. Okay, maybe it was home ec. Well, I don't know. I guess it was one of the classes I had to take. But I remember our teacher was more concerned about which way the toilet paper roll went on the toilet paper holder, and she would just freak out if you didn't say that it went this one way. But our house had a sunken toilet paper roll. Mm-hmm. It was in the wall.
Right.
So,
I remember those.
Yeah. And
it would eat them.
So it went kind of backwards because you just flip it up and it'll just roll right out. But if you put it on the other way, you're just constantly fighting to find the end.
Exactly.
And she just couldn't get that through her head that that's the way we did it at our house. But it was socially wrong. I'm like, how do you come up with this stuff? Why didn't they teach me about interest rates instead of the way toilet paper goes on? You know,
interest rates, loans, filling out applications, stuff like that would have been great.
I don't know, but I worry about the younger generation. Now I've got lots of nieces and nephews, and they're fairly modern. But not like we come from a real educated family. I don't think. My oldest brother Bert's the only one that went to college, and none of the rest of us went to college. We went to work.
Right. But that's
now
hard to do now.
Yeah, now they're trying to make that deal where you either got to go in the military or
they're trying
whatever.
to get that passed out here in Oklahoma.
That's insane. I mean, a
It's
lot
not
of people, it is in their best interest and their family's interest just to go to work.
Well, and you can't, because I was looking on more to that. What if entrepreneurship? What if you are special needs? I mean,
I could find 100 things wrong with that bill. Okay, I was talking to Representative Hill about some of this stuff this week at Posse. And first of all, they don't need to be messing with people
no.
about stuff like that. They do need to do a better job with the education system.
Yes.
A lot of people should go into a tech training, welding, machine shop, whatever, especially if this country's going to change around and be more of a manufacturing country again.
But there's not a tech opportunity or a tech field that fits everybody either.
No.
I'm not made for hair or nails or nursing or...
You don't want me to give you a haircut, I guarantee you that.
There's not a tech field that really fits me. So I would have been screwed back then. Or now.
Well, I think it's funny, to be a barber, you got to go through more schooling than you do to be a real estate agent.
Mm-hmm.
They got to go to the barber college and they got to get barber this, barber that.
Well, even out of high school, I would have never thought about real estate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Back then, that was never on my radar.
Right. Well, and real estate tends to be a fallback for a lot of people when they don't have other options.
Right.
I bought a Jeep yesterday.
I couldn't have survived on real estate back then.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
It takes so long to get going. But I bought a Jeep yesterday,
right.
And my salesman was a mortgage broker. But last year was so bad, he had to find something else to supplement his mortgage broker. So he's selling cars. I'm like, that's how rough the last year has been in a lot of this stuff.
When was it? 3 or so years ago? When the mortgage industry, after the big boom, when everybody was, one of the really good mortgage lenders I was working with got let go because the bank was letting a lot of lenders off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's just...
I was like, dang.
But we got to adapt with the times. We've got to learn to switch gears.
Right.
We do that every day in real estate.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I shift way too slow, okay? Because I try not to believe every rumor that's coming out in our industry.
And there's a lot.
And yeah, it's
worse
wild.
than a high school.
Is there anything worse than high school? No.
With
yeah,
the rumors,
it is.
It's bad.
It is crazy. And I went to a broker's open yesterday. I heard more misinformation in this $1 million broker's open yesterday. I was very disappointed in some of the agents there.
Right.
Now, the people doing the broker's open, they were very, they're professional people. Actually, I used to work with one of them at Keller Williams 10, 12 years ago.
Right.
Okay. Have great respect for her. But there was agents in there talking out their ass. They shouldn't have really been at this broker's open. They weren't mentally in that market.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're going to deal with $1 million properties, you need to think $1 million properties.
Yep.
They're saying, well, this is stupid and this is that, and then they were just talking about things that, and you got to think there's cameras everywhere now.
I remind my clients before we walk into any house, think about it as if you're being watched.
Yeah, think about it as if you're on TV.
You're being recorded.
Mm-hmm. And these were weren't young agents, but they were obviously inexperienced agents. And I felt if they were one of my agents, we would have had a conversation. Not there. But
Right.
I would have pulled them right out of there, and we would have had a
We
conversation.
would have
you know.
talked. Yeah.
I said, I was thinking, I was complaining about ethics training the other day because it hasn't really changed. But you got to go keep doing it, and it's the same stuff. And it's just boring. But these people obviously hadn't even been to the ethics training, or paid no attention, or was on their phone, doing the iPhone prayer during the whole thing.
Right.
It was just, I don't know. It was disheartening for me to see. And this is in an area down on Robinson that I'm wanting to help develop.
Right.
Okay. And of course, a lot of them, we're talking racist stuff, which you can't talk well, you shouldn't anyway, but you can't in a real estate environment with other real estate agents. And I also noticed a couple of the agents started distancing themselves away from the conversations, the smart agents, and I'm like, and that was good to see.
Right.
But for somebody, to do that, it's a problem in our industry. And I thought that had pretty much gone away. But, the last 5-6 years, we've had a great market.
Right.
Up until this last year. Okay. So we've got a lot of people that aren't really trained like they need to be
I
trained.
say this all the time, that there's always bad apples in every industry.
Oh, yeah.
No matter what it is.
Well, you got that right. I'm just rambling now, so my gosh, what are we doing?
Well, we got an open house tomorrow. I know it's going to be a little cold, but come see me. I'll be at 823 East Leah Terrace from 2 to 4. So.
Yeah, just off Sarah Road.
Yep, over
near
there,
Walmart.
not far from Walmart and Lock Supply. So
It's a
almost
beautiful
on an
house we've
acre.
redone.
Yep, almost on an acre, 3-2.
And it's got a large lot.
Yes,
It could have a large building back behind it.
it's on well and septic.
Yeah, there's very few restrictions. Only the city of Mustang restrictions there.
Right, it is
nothing,
in city limits. So
yeah,
Mustang schools.
No HOA.
No.
Right. Which is getting harder to find.
2-car garage, has a driveway, and then it has a remnants of a circle, like semicircle driveway. So needs some new gravel, but it's still there. You can see it. So nice location. Sarah's 2-lane now. So, and they widened.
Yeah, they widened that entrance. Yeah.
So that
thank
helps.
goodness.
Nice little house, fireplace.
Oh, that's
It has
1,700 square feet.
Yeah, it has a formal living. It's like right there. It's like 16 something.
Okay.
So just under 17.
I didn't print it off this morning.
It's like 1690 or something like that. So it's right at almost 1700. So formal living right when you walk in, or you could do a dining or a playroom or an office or whatever floated your
updated, all
boat.
everything.
Yeah, new floors and everything except the kitchen, which that tile was in good shape.
So is that going to be Saturday or Sunday?
Saturday.
Sunday's going to be cold.
Well, now they're both the same. Originally, Sunday was going to be colder than Saturday, so I decided to do Saturday, and now they're both going to be the same. So
Yeah, a lot of folks don't like getting out when it's that cold. And then now next week we're going to have some really cold days. So.
But hey, it's Oklahoma. It could be 60 tomorrow. Who knows? But I'm going to be there, so come see me if you want to brave it. Inside, it's going to be warm. I'll have it warm inside.
All right. Well, you ready to wrap this up?
I am.
All right. We are WRME Live. We're Main Edge, where we do real life